I'm in England. Anyway, I'm back home. It's this cold place that I really love to go home. So cold. So, yeah. Welcome, welcome. Good vibes. I'm taking a morning walk. Let me show you. This bird is itanga forager. Foraging. It's foraging. So welcome to my morning walk. And it's running away. I don't remember what it's called. It's not a hornbill, but it's a beautiful kind of bird. So I'm here talking to myself because I love myself. Welcome. Let's take a walk together. Let's take a walk together. Together. Let's take a walk. So this is my community. This is where I was bred and brewed. Right? But here, where I was raised up. So I'm visiting and I'm happy to be here. Seeing how life is and feeling I should come back home, do more here. So yeah, give back. Really, really, really. Um, I've done so much. I've gone to medical camps, even to like other counties, but I did start here. I started here, only that I never came back. I did a hit and run. I should correct that. I did a hit and run. I did only one medical camp here, which actually had so many people, but again, resources are limited. So probably why we didn't come back, because resources are tough to find. So I'm meeting these kids going to school. I can barely remember myself at that age. It's so cold. I have to cover myself up a little bit, protect my nostrils and my lungs. Yeah, so hope you're happy, you're well. Today is also my daughter's milestone. Welcome. She is turning 5 months. It's been 5 months on this awesome journey of being a mom. 5 months being a mom. It's been good. It's been good. Um, what have I learned? Being a mom, what have I learned? I've learned to take in every day as it comes, not to sit home and forgo opportunities because I am a new mom. So if you followed me on my socials, you know that I have traveled far and wide with my daughter, taking her to high level meetings, or rather going with her to high level meetings, to finishing my studies while with her, doing a lot of things while with her. So my message to anyone out there who is a new mom, honestly, try and see what opportunities you can embrace. Yes, what opportunities you can embrace. Is it an online short course that you can do? Is it a mentorship program you can do? Because I feel there's actually a lot we can do, even as while having young kids. There's a lot we can do even while having young kids, like as young as 3 months, because let's think of it this way. In the corporate world, um, in the corporate world, you resume work at like 10 weeks. You resume work at 10 weeks. But for us who might not have been employed, maybe you're an entrepreneur, you're a new mom, you take quite long before you figure yourself out. So as soon as your child reaches like that time when you are now able to go back to work, I would highly recommend, even if you didn't have work before, because I know some of us get married and have kids as soon as maybe you're done with your degree. So if that's the case for you, my advice would be do a short course, look for someone you admire and follow them, or even how do I say it? Um, oh, look at this. Look at this. Okay, yeah. Find something you can do during those times when your child is sleeping. I know it's hard, but it's not that hard. We can push ourselves a little bit. It would really go far um because if you had a job, if you are employed, it would be very easy to go back to work because you fear you will lose your income. You fear that um you fear what? Yeah, you will lose your job. But you cannot give ourselves excuses that because I wasn't employed before, it would not make sense. Hi, Mercy. Um, that it would not make sense to do something after the 3 months when your child is actually those, we are given a maternity leave for like 12 weeks, because in those 12 weeks your child has is able to continue driving by herself. So my personal view as an entrepreneur, as a woman in business, as a student, as a mother, as a sister and a daughter, is that if your child has reached 3 months, 3 months, and even if you aren't employed, try and find something you can do with your time, because at that time probably your child has already gained sleeping habits. They have their sleeping routine. You know how they feed. Um, if possible, like you find that now your child is not sick, like you don't have to utter the immunization schedule. They have already met the last one is usually at 14 weeks. Is it 14 weeks or 10 weeks? I think 14 weeks, 10 weeks. You start, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks. So you find that the child has already reached the 14 weeks. That's why you find that in the real sense, you are required to go back to work. So if you didn't have a job, or you didn't have a job before you delivered your child, like for us who are in business, or some for us who are in self-employed in whatever nature that takes. If you're self-employed, kindly resume just the normal way like a corporate woman would resume. Some people even resume work at 8 weeks, 2 months. Mtoi akifika 2 months, you are already being required back at work. Why don't we give ourselves the same kind of what do you call it? Like the same kind of schedule. Like my kid is 3 months, my kid is 2 months, I can go back to doing whatever hustle I was doing. So if you've been following me, you know that, okay, you might not know, but me, I left the house when my daughter was like 2 months. But even then, there were programs I was doing. There were lots of things that I was doing online. So at this point now where you find that my daughter is now managing well, she's breastfeeding, she's sleeping okay. So if I had an event or a client that I needed to see past 6 months, past the 2 months, I would go with my baby. You've seen, this is actually my baby's what is it called, show, yeah, baby rap. So I would carry her in my baby wrap and go with her to work or to whatever consultancy I needed, because I am my brand. Malkia, I am Malkia, Malkia is me. So if I have a client who is not served because I'm nursing my baby, I'm losing out. Because in this business, it's not just about the client, it's about the client loyalty, customer service. Who have they met in the office? Have they been served well? And because my business is still small, um, I have to be probably the one doing the hard work. I have to be probably the one going to meet this client. Of course, now I have put in structures, I have taken interns, um, to help me with so many things that I was doing, because again we have grown. I told you last year we turned three years in business, because I started my business in November 2019. And even through the COVID period, we worked it out. Because that time when I started my business, I was doing an entrepreneurial program called Africa Yes. Yeah. Yes, Africa Yes. Yes was an acronym. It was Youth Entrepreneurial Support Program. So for Africans. So I was doing this program for 6 months. So as I was doing it, is where I that's where I that's where I did what? That's where I put structure, even brainstorming, as in testing the product. Testing, is this a viable business? Is this something that I can do in the long term? I did it during those 6 months from November 2019 to around June of 2020. It took longer, of course, because we had to not iterate. We had to, what is that word? Like, you have to change the way you do business. So even this program had to change the way they did business, because we would go in for in-person sessions. So now COVID has come, lockdowns have come. We had to change very fast to online classes. But you see, that transition took time, because we would do physical classes every Saturday. It was supposed to go for 6 months. But now with COVID, the lockdown, the uncertainty, the global unrest, it took a bit like 2 months for people to change, to iterate, to know what is Zoom, what is Skype, to know all these things. So it took longer. So for me, I started my business through an entrepreneurial program. And the good thing with these entrepreneurial programs, they also empower you in your mind. You get to understand there are some things you need to unlearn. Because I appreciate the business I learned in school. I appreciate, like in high school, I appreciate what I learned in campus, because now it's what I'm using. But business is different. It's totally different. I'm telling you, business is totally different from anything we have learned in school. Managing money is hard. It's something we haven't been taught. So I had to join this kind of programs, because I knew in my heart of hearts that I am not really an employee. I had tried to be an employee. It wasn't working. So I knew that for me, that my best fit would be to do my own business. And then now, because I had been trained as a nutritionist, and I joined this program now, Africa Yes, I learned that I can actually do business as a consultant. But although, okay, the idea had been birthed in me before I joined the program. So I joined the program to put more structure to Malkia Nutrition. So that's how I started my journey. It's been now 3 years. This is our fourth year, because this is 2023. By November, we'll be turning we'll be turning 4 years. Okay, back to my point. I was saying, if you are an entrepreneur, you know in your heart of hearts that I would like to do business or to work for myself, to be my own boss. Yeah, all these nice slogans. Try and put structure into your life. If you know I'm pregnant, I had this job, but I probably will quit, or it might not work as well for me while I'm pregnant, because I actually had to quit a job with this second pregnancy. I had to quit a job. So if you know in your heart of hearts that it won't work out the way I thought, this pregnancy, oh, my surrounding is so beautiful. It's really cold. But I've now gotten used to it, because I'm taking my water, I'm hydrating, and the air is kind of now not so cold. as when I was leaving the house. So if you know in your heart of hearts that you're an entrepreneur, yeah, try and put structure towards it. Join this and entrepreneurial program. They have awesome training. Mackenzie School, Stanford. These are our trainers, by the way. They are experts in their own right. But again, you personalize what they are teaching you to a Kenyan context, because they are guiding you based on principles that work well in the States. But for you as a Kenyan, there are some things that you sift what you learn. You sift, this will work best for me, this won't work very well for me. So that you find that that's where you pick, you glean, you pick what works, and then you leave what doesn't work. If you're in employment, yeah, the same I'm saying, like now me, I'm an employer, right? So if the ladies in my company take a maternity break, I will empower them, or I'll tell them, don't just go and, okay, you can go rest for 3 months or for those 10 weeks after you give birth, because that's the period that has been shown scientifically that your body has healed. Then you don't necessarily have to come back physically to the office, but continue learning, continue implementing some of the things that you can do, like on your phone. You can do so much on your phone. You can record such videos. You can show us how you're nurturing your baby, how you're cooking for yourself, how you're ensuring that your meal is balanced. Do something. Like right now, content creation is it's the in thing. Yeah? It's the thing you ought to do, because with this Gen Z, what else can you do? You need to create content where you are. So some people were a bit ish, by the way. Some of people I consider like my parents' age, not really, yeah, my parents' age. Some of the people in Kikuyu where I reside, they didn't take it so well that I was leaving the house so early. So there's actually a woman who confronted me about it. But and all these fears, your body that has not healed properly, you will start having pain in your back, you'll start having issues with the bones. So for me, I knew, okay, now the good thing with the knowledge I have as a nutritionist, I knew what foods I need for my body to heal. And they needed to be foods rich in proteins, food rich in energy, food rich in calcium and other minerals. And I was taking that in plenty. And my bath was natural. So I knew if it's a natural bath, my body will also heal very fast. And it's actually what happened. Oh, I'm back. I'm back, you all, to my home, to our local home. You see, this forested area, that's our home. I will probably take more content later. So I knew that I've lost my train of thought. Take a breather, baby girl, and get back to it. Um. Okay. So I was saying, I knew that for me, my body is okay with what I'm giving it. It's healing okay. My pregnancy was good. I'm not. I will possibly not have those complication and issues that people were warning me about. So I was okay coming out, and even that coming out was not for so many hours. It was like several hours. Then I'm back, either in the house, or I'm sitting, or I'm rested. Yeah. So for me, I knew I can't stay in the house for 6 months, because I did that with my first pregnancy, and I felt like I missed out on a lot. So this year 2020 2019 was like my getting back out there, my trying to go back and do what I wanted to do with my life, because I got my first child in 2018. And I stayed home in June. I stayed home up to the end of 2018. But that from November and December is where I figured, well, I need to know I need to know what else I can do with my life, because now I have been trained as a nutritionist. I have graduated. I have taken a gap year, but now I'm here. I'm married. I'm wedded, but I need a solution. I need something. I need to do something that will work for me. So that's how I ended up doing my internship in 2019. I ended up doing my nutrition internship in 2019. which we applied for towards the end of 2018, because I told my husband, well, I don't feel comfortable just staying home and not knowing what exactly I will do after this, like now my baby is big. He's turning 6 months. What do I do? Huh? What do I do now? And that's when we went ahead and applied for my internship, and luckily from from what from February of 2019, I got my first placement in a food industry. So it's good to have some sort of structure. What do you want your life to look like? Do you want it to be just hivi, ama you have an actual plan that you're thinking about? Life goals. We keep saying about life goals, body goals, blah blah blah, but really we should try and actually actualize these things. Have a plan. The way we say, at the beginning of the year, set your goals. Your physical goals, your academic goals, your relationship goals. Set your goals, and then put a plan to it, actualize it, make sure it works out. Usikae tu nyumbani. Don't just stay at home hivi without knowing exactly what you're doing. Yeah, so that's my morning walk. I'm now back home. These are our residence. We have a kayapo fence over there. I will try and record content, although it's not the reason why I'm here. It's not one that I really should be recording content. If I had come maybe for a mentorship or something, it would be easier. But I'll see. Uh, I will call myself to a meeting and see if I'll record content later on in the day. Today is Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning, and it's really chilly, and I'm hoping all will be well. It's not a joyous occasion, the reason why I'm here, but I'm